Hello friends, so welcome back in this Lucas Studio interview session part 2. In this session we will discuss about some important question and answer regarding this Lucas Studios, right? So let's look to this question answers. Okay, so now in this session we'll cover around 7 question answer which is highly popular during the interview session of Lucas Studios. Okay, so first things your interviewer will ask you what is the parameter. So if I say theoretically, so parameter is a dynamic or user defined value that can be utilized in visualization or formulas, or it's like once okay, so there is one option. If okay, so if you want to change the your field dynamically, okay, then you can use this parameter, and I think it's a very best way. Okay, let's say if I want to select the quantity column, order column, sales column using the drop down, okay, without changing the column manually, then I think this would be the best one. So let's see our visual in this way. Okay, so now let's assume uh, we have here order, okay, and sales, and third one is quantity order. So what I need now, okay, when I select the order, okay, then order value should appear. When I select the sales, then sales value should appear. Then how can I do this thing? So parameter is the best way to fulfill this kind of requirement. Okay, so let's say for that I will have to first of all create one parameter, and once you create parameter, then you will have to apply those parameter into the calculated field or add fields. Okay, so let's see. We need, okay, dynamic KPI I am writing here. So if you put a list of value, okay, so I am putting here list of value. So first I need orders, right? And another after that I need quantity, and third one I need sales. Okay, by default I am selecting the sales here, and if you just click on save option here, so now I'm putting the done. Okay, now just search dynamic. This is okay, this parameter will appear in purple color in your Lucas Studios property. Okay, so now this is the sales one, right? Okay, so here sales one. So now what I will have to do, I will have to now create one calculated field here, right? So what I will do here, I will add here my KPI value. Okay, so let's say if, sorry, I will use the case statement case when our parameter name was dynamic KPI, right? It was is equal to sales, then sales, right? Sorry, I am putting the sales, and second, if when dynamic KPI is equal to, let's say, quantity order, and when dynamic KPI is equal to sales quantity, and what was the next one here, orders. Okay, then what I will do here, I will just put into the sum, and okay, so this formula is correct. So now if I add this KPI here, my KPI value, this will appear in blue color. So just I'm putting here this one, removing this thing. So if I select sales, then it is showing this one. If I select quantity, so it is showing total quantity. If I select orders, so it will give you the total number of orders. Okay, that's how you can use the parameters. Okay, so hope the what is the concept of parameter and how we can use parameter into your Lucas Studios visual. And Lucas Studios, again, it is a theoretical question. If someone asks you verbally what is the Lucas, what is the parameter, then parameter is nothing but user defined dynamic values. Okay, this one, and you can just dynamically change the fields using these parameters. And there are much. Okay, now what is the dynamic filter for user? Okay, so it's a very simple question, and you can achieve this very simply and easily. Okay, so let's just take this one. It is an inbuilt feature in Lucas Studio that allow user to filter data interactively. The capability, okay, so this feature is containing time, period filter, search filter, date range control filter. So now take a look here. Okay, if you go to here add control, there is one option, advanced filtering. So if you put in this advanced field filtering here, let's say I am just putting here ASM, right? So I am here adding ASM into your dimension. So in this ASM, let's put value here Raj. Just wait, I am putting here. So it's showing no data. Why it's showing no data? Because you can see we have added status, so we need to add the same field here, ASM. Okay, now this will work. Okay, same way you can use the content features. Let's say containing let's say what is the common thing here, R. Okay, so let's see where exactly R is mentioned. This is actually mentioning the R. Okay, and start with function you can use start with vi. So you can see, so this is the use of advanced filtering option. Hope this is clear. Date range control. So date range is nothing but if you go to in this one add control, there is one more option called date range control. So you can just change the date as per your selection. So if I add here month, and if I put here select date range, so this will give you this types of dynamic option. You can also select last 7 days, 3 years, this year options here. Okay, third one is how to optimize the dashboard performance. Okay, so this is I think verbal question that you will have to explain verbally because it's related to your experience on data. Okay, so what happened in Looker Studio? Looker Studio is not designed to control heavy data set. Okay, so that's why you will have to put the summarized data or less data into your Looker Studios, and based on that you can create the data. So during the data connection you will have to make sure that you should put the summarization of data or less data, also the formulas. So make sure that heavy formula should be applicable into the data source using in G Sheet. You can use multiple formula into your data source, like in I am using the G Sheet, so you can add the multiple fields like I have applied here one formulas. Okay, so this will help me to reduce the heavy formula to apply into this table sections. Okay, so this way you can reduce the size of your formulas, and Looker Studios will take less processing time during the selections of a user in Looker Studios. Okay, and try to use less visual, because in Looker Studio one page containing limitation of visuals. You cannot use I believe you cannot use more than 35 visual in one page, as I remember, but there is some limitation to use the visual in your Looker Studios page. Okay, and do not use the blind data much, because if you use more and more blind data table set, then your Looker Studio dashboard capacity will reduce, and this will affect on dashboard calculation and performance. So whenever user come into your Looker Studio dashboard, that time he feels that this dashboard is very slow, so this can create a negative impact on your dashboard. Okay, minimize filter. This is again the visualization part. Okay, now let's jump on to the fourth question. What is the row level security and how to apply it? This is very useful feature according to me to data prospect to you. Okay, so you can you can hide the PL data or personal information related data, okay, using this feature. And you can also help you can also control your user, that he can see only his data, not others data. Okay, that is the feature is provided into the row level security. But the thing is that in one row you can apply on only one mail ID. That is the limitation of this RLS. But for that you need one mail ID field in your data source. So in my case, if I add here mail ID, so this is my mail ID. Okay, mail ID field. So if you see here, so currently I am using this mail ID. Let's just expand this session. Sorry, so what I can do, distribute eventually. So this is my mail ID. Okay, now what is happening in this mail ID? I will have to make change in my mail ID. Let's say you can see this is my mail ID. But if you see here, okay, so now I want, so whenever you share this report, okay, the user can see only his row related data, not other user data. Okay, for applying this kind of functionality, you just click on data source, filter by mail, filter by viewer mail ID, and just select that mail ID column. Okay, and just click on done. Okay, once you've done this activity, just wait. So now if you see, it will automatically filter my data based on my mail ID. Okay, so this is called the row level security. It's not rocket science, it's just your logical thinking, that how you can prevent to other user to see other user data. Now, how to manage large data set? It is again the same thing. You will have to summarize the data using the SQL query, pivot table. You can break down your data set. If you have the big query, it is the same answer. Okay, whatever we have discussed in this one. Okay, and the sixth and seventh is the same one, how to create the dynamic previous year sales. So let's say if you go to the interview and someone will ask you, okay, I need the data, I need to compare my current year data with my previous year, or let's say I need to compare my current year data with 2 year ago data, right, or 3 year ago data, or 4 year ago data. Then how will you achieve this task? Okay, so for that we will use the parameter. Okay, so for that, for using the parameter, first of all we need the dynamic year column, right, because we are comparing the year to year. And once we create the year calculate field, okay, then after that we will create the parameters. And once we create the parameter, then we'll have to apply this into the add field or calculated fields, right? So how we will achieve? Okay, let's first of all remove this security, so we can use our full data set here. So here if I see, okay, now all the data will appear. Now what we can do here, let's say our current year data, right? So I am removing my mail ID and my current year data. So for that I will, let's say, current year sales. So my sales is this one. This is my current year sales, right? Okay, now what I will do here, against this current year sale, I need my, here I am just renaming this one and putting here the current year sales. How to rename. This one is my current year sales, and if I want to rename this one, okay, let's add this in the calculated field. Okay, let it be. So now okay, this is in order level, sorry, it's my bad. That's why I'm thinking why I'm not able to change this one. So I'm putting here current year sales, right? Okay, for that we have month column here. So what we will do, we will use the year column. Let's see if we have created year column or not. No, right? So I am adding one year column first, current year. Okay, and I am saving this one. So I am putting here sales. So I have the current year sales in this one. So let's say my current year is 2005. Okay, I am just selecting sales value here. Now I need the dynamic year. So this is showing my current year sales. Okay, now I need against it one my dynamic. So whenever I select, let's say 2003, then it will show the 2003 sales. Whenever I just select 2005, but this way you can also achieve, but you cannot compare, right? Okay, so we need to compare the current year versus the selected year data, right? So that we need to create one parameter. So same parameter we'll create in this one. Let's say year dynamic. So we are selecting year 2003, 2004, 2005, right? And default year I am selecting 2005. Click on new save. Done. So let's select year dynamic. Okay, this is created. Now I am going to create one more drop down box here. And I am adding into this control field 2005, 2003, same way I can create. This is my year dynamic field. And now what I will do, I will add dynamic sales, right? So what I can do here, dynamic year sales. So for that case, first of all we'll use the case and end statement. So when, let's say, year dynamic is equal to 2003, Okay, or what we can do here, if year dynamic is equal to let's say current year, right, current year data. Okay, then we just simply put here sales else null, and I am putting here sum function to summation of this sum value. So I am here now. Let's see how it's work. Dynamic year sales, I am putting here this one. So now both the values matching. Let's say if I put 2023, okay, now it is showing the null value. So let's say if I select 2005 and if I want to select here 2004, I want to compare this. Okay, there is something challenging part come here. So let's just wait. So current year is showing properly as per selection, but the problem is in this dynamic years. Then how will you resolve it? Because there is something wrong. Okay, what is happening? If you select the current year, okay, so the data is also get filters in 2005. So that's why this 2004 is not working, because this whole data set is filtered under this 2005, right? Okay, that's why this thing is not working. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to use, I think, the date filter or something unique there here. So dynamic year sales I'm putting here. So let's say year dynamic if year dynamic is a current year. So what I will do, current year is also filtering the data. We'll have to figure it. Okay, just give me some time. I'm coming back here. Okay, so I again come back, and now I got to know what was the problem, because I was directly selecting the inbuilt column, okay, with inbuilt reference column. So I need to create two dynamic drop down box. So I rather selecting this current year inbuilt column, I will have to create another dynamic current year parameter. So what we will do here, we will create one more parameter, current year parameter, okay, list of values. So let's say I'm putting here number, list of values, the same thing. So I'm putting here 2004, 2005, saving this one. And what I need to do, I need to change this reference current instead of always remember, whenever you are using the parameter, make sure you should not use the same field inbuilt column or inbuilt field against those parameter. Okay, now this is the, now what I will do here, I will use the same formula here. We have used the dynamic parameter, right, this one. So what we will do, we will just copy this formula, in same formula we will add into our current year sales, right? And we need to just change this reference. Okay, that's all. Entire formula will remain same. So this current year is matching with your inbuilt column, and this year dynamic is also matching with inbuilt column, but this time this inbuilt column is not filtering the entire data set, so we can use both the data here. So what we need to do here, we need to just change this current year sales, and just will have to put here our calculated columns. So our calculated column is this one. Okay, 569. So if I just wait here, let me just resize this column. And if I, let's say I am adding the sales column, this one, I am picking the sales, and here dynamic, I want to compare 2004 data. So you can see this is the 2004 data 367, and if I want to compare the 2003 versus 2005, so I can simply compare like this way, right? So this is our previous sales calculations, and now same thing we can do using the previous month, right? So you know how to do this thing. Simply case statement create calculated field and case statement. So the same way we will do for this previous month. So now we have select the year, right? So for previous month, okay, we will do the same thing we have created year. Now same way we can filter the month data. Okay, previous year month. Okay, previous year month sales, right? So previous month year month. Now we can compare the year to year data, right? Same way we can compare the month. For that month we need first of all one inbuilt column of month, right? So like we have created inbuilt column of year, same way we will have to create a month inbuilt column of month. So now if you see this month, okay, this month is looking like this. If I add a month here, month is showing like this. So we need month wise dynamic parameters here, right? So here how we can create these types of dynamic parameters month wise. So we need just month, because here we have all already created using the parameter. And if and for month we can add one calculations here. Let's say, so we can use include month, format date and time, format string is r, and date would be our month column. I think this way we can show your month. So I am adding this month here. Let's see first of all our output data is showing correct or not. But I need the month like November, December. I think this would be okay for us. But this is very complicated for user to remember whether the 12 is November or December. So what we can do here, just put here in capital. Like say what exactly order, date, calculations, and month. So this is showing the hour. So how we can create the month one? Let me just find on Google what is the format. Only month using create format in Looker Studio. Okay, whenever you stuck, okay, that time you just see what exactly format you can use here. Date, mile, second, month, Looker Studios. I think this one B. This venue, right? So whenever you choose the select September, October, November, so accordingly data will appear previous year sales in month. Okay, so now we have inbuilt column month. Now what we can do, we need to add a month parameter. For that, just go to the add parameter, click on list value. We need to create 12 column set here. November and December. Okay, now let's create one drop down box. So adding dynamic month in this one. Okay, now you can see January, February, March, April, May. Like this way we can select the data. Now accordingly this should change, right? So what we can do here, if you select February, then it will show February 2005 data, and February and if you select 2003, then it will show the February 2003 data in this column. Okay, so we need to make changes into our calculated field. Okay, current year sales and previous year sales. So we can use AND condition and Okay, same way we just copy this one and click on update option. That's all. Okay, now if I select here February, it is showing the same value. But if I want to see 2003 February numbers against the current February, right? So you can see. So in February 2005, Raj sales was 1,67,000, whereas in February 2003, Raj sales was showing null because he joined in 2004 or 2005, I don't know, but that is the true reality. Same way you can compare the 2003 May data versus 2005 May data. Okay. Same way if you select the 2004 May data, this way you can compare. So now that's all for the interview part 2. We will come back again with interview 3 with new some interesting question answer. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for the watching this video.